had to stop it. Welcome to the episode Middle Ground with L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That is the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, The JLE Experience. I own the music and the copyright. Don't mute nothing on Facebook. I always got to say that for some reason. We got another amazing guest for you today. We have a 30-year researcher and developer, a natural healthy lifestyles, author, TV show, and host of Win Win Women, Nancy, the healthy sales chick White. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And I think it's great that you remind people that your music is yours and it's licensed.
Oh yeah, because Facebook start mute stuff like, what you muting that over there in that country for? This mine.
I know.
I made this. Don't play with me. We're gonna jump right in. First question: what led you to this path?
Oh, Jeffrey, well, that was a long time ago, too.
What time?
So, when I was 9 years old, my father died of Hodgkin's disease. And my oldest brother, John, he was 22, studying to be a doctor in the Navy. And he discovered his own leukemia and lived 2 years longer. And John and I were so close. I was raised, Jeffrey, with three brothers. And John was going to be the doctor, and I was going to be the nurse, Nurse Nancy, because I had a Nurse
Okay.
Nancy little golden book. Well, I wanted to be a nurse until I found out she had to stick people. And I thought, I don't think I want to be a nurse. No. But anyways, but their premature death sort of birthed in my heart and in my life just that thirst of knowledge to be able to find natural ways to be as preventative as possible. So fast forward, and I've gone through corporate America. 40 years ago, they kicked me out. And so
What?
I know I left to have my baby, and back in that time, women
Mm,
could go out for 6 months to have maternity leave.
that's true.
Well, they said, I have to keep your position because I was signing my name 17,000 times a year. And so, anyways, I was gone 2 weeks, Jeffrey, and I got a call from the head of personnel, and he said, Nancy, we have to fill your position because we can't leave it empty for 6 months. We can't. And I said, okay, that's fine. Pay me to stay home and have my baby. And so, but I never, but I never went back. So Jeffrey, that was the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, which most people know it's not just right straight up. And I've had several businesses, some flopped, some failed. I've sold some. But being in health and wellness, that when you talk about your purpose and your passion, it just lights me up so much to help people, to give them hope. I mean, you nurture the mind, the body, and the spirit. You have to nurture all three. But I think that was the beginning and the birth, Jeffrey, of me
Mhm.
finding my passion and my purpose. But my mom was 96 when she moved home to be with the Lord, and she was
Wow.
always that person that was just great inspiration for me. And so, but finding your purpose, it's usually a road that's up and down and back and forth. And it changes sometimes. It gets tweaked as we just continually the years go by. But that was the birth of why I really love being in the health and wellness industry and but I believe in physical and financial health, Jeffrey. It's not just one
Okay.
thing.
You definitely need
You have
that.
to nurture both. Yeah.
Okay, now what is your TV show and you're the host of Win Win Women about?
Yes. So Win Women TV, let me tell you a little bit of history, Jeffrey. So Paula Fellingham, the founder of Win Women TV, has helped women in 152 countries for over 3 decades. And so when I was introduced to this opportunity a year ago, August, and I thought about it and prayed about it, and I thought, everything I've been doing has led up to this. And it's not replacing anything that I have been
Mhm.
doing, it enhanced. So my show is about the healthy mind, the body, and the spirit. And I love having guest ladies to come on because pretty much everything that we do affects our mind, our body, and our spirit. But it's
Right.
it's a 24/7 platform, evergreen. So the whole purpose is to be in front of 3.5 billion women around the world, for them to
Wow.
be able to go and have access to learn about things, to become encouraged, to have inspiration. So that was where the Win Win Women TV came from. And it'll be a year next month since I've had my show.
Congratulations. That's awesome. I noticed you have in your name on LinkedIn, the Healthy Sales Chick. How'd you come up like that's your moniker? How'd that come about?
Oh, well, I have to give credit to where credit's due. The Lord gave me the inspiration for the healthy sales chick because I really, again, I've been a 40-year researcher in natural prevention. I was studying about GMOs before anybody even knew about it, about
Oh,
impurities and toxins, all those kinds of things about um, what happens on a cellular level when you're exposed to certain things, when you ingest certain things. Our skin's our biggest organ. So I really am very passionate about people's cellular health because when your cellular health is good and we get new bodies every 6 to 8 years, we completely regenerate, you might as well make a new good one. So, but that healthy cells, it really helps you from the inside out. I mean, some people, a lot of people really want to, look their best and feel their best, but that's where the healthy cells come from because, again, those healthy cells make healthy glands, healthy organs, and a healthy body.
now you just do some game knowledge out there. Every 6 to 8 years, your body regenerate.
It does. Our
Explain
skin's
that a
a
little bit more.
miracle. I know. Think about it, Jeffrey. Our skin regenerates every 21 days. I'm surprised we don't look like cheesecloth. So,
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I'm learning something right now. You got a first awesome guest who's watching, popping in. Small business cheerleader and family, teaching Hammond saying hello, family. Appreciate her. All right. You also are a co-host of Happy Neighborhood Networking. What is that
Mhm.
show about?
Well, happy networking, happy neighborhood networking. I have been leading networking groups, Jeffrey, over 20 years. In fact, I'd had a women's networking group before COVID and had over 4,000 different ladies in my home and 120 different nonprofits featured.
Wow.
And I love coming together and finding great resources to not only use, but to share with other people. And so I believe networking is one of the best ways for us to be able to connect, collaborate, and get to know each other. And so the Happy Neighborhood Networking started. They had one meeting in 2020, and then the world shut down. And so Edwin Aberry is the founder of the Happy Neighborhood Networking. And he loves people, and he had interviewed over 1,000 people, Jeffrey, on the
Hmm.
streets to find out what made them happy. And
Okay.
so he did a TEDx talk. The United Nations asked him, said, "Would you please do a TEDx talk on happiness?" Well, he started the Happy Neighborhood Networking in California, and they had one meeting, and now we have about 50 meetings a week, and we've got in five
Awesome.
countries, and we have about 27,000 people that register for networking every week. So, again, you see how things grow,
Yeah. Uh,
and the
that's
best
awesome.
marketing tool not only is to tell a woman, but it's also to network.
Oh yeah, you gotta let the ladies know, man. They got a lot of love to support you. You gotta let them know, and they will support. Shout
Mhm.
out to all of them. Everybody doing amazing things out here. Now, you are author as well.
Mhm.
Tell us about that on the book.
Well, my first book, this the GRT journal, it stands for Gratitude, Reflections, and Tips. And I have to back up a little bit because people kept saying, you should write a book. You've got all this knowledge, this wisdom and information walking around in your brain. If people tell me something was going awry or whatever, I would ask permission if I could share some tips or whatever. And so they kept saying, you should write a book. And I kept going, I don't want to write a book. I don't mind talking, but I don't want to write a book. You don't tell the Lord you don't want to do something because okay.
Yeah, I've
And
been
so
there.
and
Been
so I
there.
know so the GRT journal again stands for gratitude, reflections, and tips. And people would say, I don't like to journal, just like I didn't want to write a book. I said, but can you spend 10 minutes at the end of each day and fill in the blanks? And so the GRT journal is a tool for people to use again to reflect over the day, to write down those few things that were their deeds of kindness, what they were grateful for, just what was fun, and for the healthy part, if they drank water, if they ate healthy, if they exercised, if they slept. So, but it's a good way to set down goals and quarterly and to be able to work towards those. So that was my first book that came out. And then I had a second collaboration book. It was called Light at the End of the Funnel, volume 2, and it was all about entrepreneurs. And so that was another book. And then the third book I have is called Radical Self Love. And again, that was another collaborative book. And my chapter in that book was self love is setting goals and priorities. And it's, how important that is for us to in our life, whether it's for our personal life or our business lives.
Yes.
And then the fourth book will be coming out in just the next couple of weeks, and it's
Okay.
called Making Peace from Your Pieces. And again, it's an anthology. And my chapter in that one is Thank You Very Much for Stealing My Invention. It's like,
You don't sound sassy at all. That's priceless. That's awesome. Oh man. Okay. Oh, we got a question from Tisha. What is your chapter you're leading for the Happy Neighborhood Project?
mine is the North Carolina, and we meet at high noon on Wednesdays, 12 Eastern time. And we would love to have anybody come because we have people from all over, not just from North Carolina. And so, but I do have a lot of connections with networking groups around the world. And so I would love just to share any resources that I may have, Jeffrey, with others.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, when you were writing all these books, what was your emotions when you were done?
Okay, I got it. I mean, it was just like, it's history. It's things that you've written about that you've already experienced in life. And so it's just sort of, getting that down. Um, but I think my emotions were going, okay, you did that. It wasn't so hard. It didn't hurt so much. You know, but you have guidance and direction. And I was being interviewed about a decade ago, Jeffrey, and the guy, Brian asked me, goes, Nancy, looking back over your entrepreneurial journey, he said, what would you have done differently? And I said, Brian, I would have asked for help more and I would have accepted it and I would have done it. Because as a woman, especially one that was raised with three brothers, and the tenacity is I can do it myself. I'm the boss of me,
Oh, you
We
use that. You okay? You
yep.
spicy with it. Okay.
But we need to help with each other, with community. Because if we weren't supposed to, we'd be here all by ourselves.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. When I wrote my books, it was definitely God wanted me to be transparent to help people in life. I don't want to talk about me. I don't need to know my business. Go watch a blog or something. But God is like, no. I said put that in there. Like, dude, it's
Mhm.
emotional, man. They're gonna looking at me all different.
So, how did you feel, Jeffrey, after you got your books written and you were obedient? How did you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I wrote the first one last summer,
Mhm.
and I ain't published it till September. 'Cause I'm like, no, I ain't doing no. Then you get that spiritual. You gonna do what I told you to do, boy? I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
publish it. But after I did it, it was like, wow, you actually wrote a book.
I know. See, obedience is better than sacrifice. And you can live long enough and you will go, I think I'd rather do it your way than my way. Yes.
Yeah, because God way is easier, man. I mean, looking at what I'm doing now, because when I started this during the pandemic, you couldn't go nowhere. Like, well, I watch sports debate shows, political shows. I
Mhm.
got an opinion. I know a little something about the world. Started doing it out the trunk. I called it with my iPhone. I put on YouTube. People like, dang, you did this? Like, yeah, I'm out here. I'm doing it.
Mhm.
Then I finished school, and that was tough to
Mhm.
finish my degree during that period, about August
Wow.
2020. Every
Congratulations.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Every day we still, or every class, we will have a check-in before we start. Like, class say, well, my relative just died from COVID, or other people
Mhm.
I know sick, and they get to me. I'm like, we're praying for everybody to get well.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, read the Bible, spoiler alert, you gonna be all right. We ain't there yet. More stuff to happen. But I don't care if the planet blow up. I'm getting this piece of paper. I've been doing this too long. I dropped out, started over. It need to wait until I finish, then it can blow up. Do whatever you're gonna do. But I need it.
Because you wanted on your tombstone. He finished.
Yeah, like I done too much work to say he didn't finish. No, I need to say Jeff is a graduate. Blow the planet up, do whatever you're gonna do, but I finished. They had a good laugh, like that's right attitude. No matter what, we gotta finish. Let's go. Let's get it.
Mhm.
Too much work been put in.
Tenacity.
And
Hmm.
then I got back to it. My boy mom, she has a gospel show and she was using Anchor last year. So by March, I rebooted.
Hmm.
Didn't intend to interview nobody. Started interviewing some amazing people. Came across Tisha Hammond, and I know a lot of people, and I thought she was being kind. Like this lady, I didn't know she Yoda out here. You know, I didn't know she know like Wu Tang. Like she started sending me thousands of names. Like wow, she really do know people. Now me, I'm not a people person. Like oh man, you get out your comfort zone. You got to go over here and connect to people. And I'm thinking stranger danger. So I know they're looking at me like stranger danger. Like what this man want. Well, this is my show. This is what I'm doing. Like oh, that's cool. I want to do that. I'm like, oh, you do? You sure? Like, oh wow. I guess this is what I should be doing. And you steady hearing God like, once you start being obedient, Jeff, you're gonna start seeing this where I need you to keep going. So don't do you, do me.
That's
So
it.
keep reaching out. And I'm near the end of season 8. Like, wow.
That is amazing. That's
Couldn't
fantastic.
tell me that a year ago. Could not tell me that a
Mhm.
year ago. And I'm very humbled that people share their story and everybody's story is phenomenal. Like, wow. I'm
Mhm.
learning stuff every episode.
Yep. Everybody's that story, and it's to help other people too. And when you talk about, you didn't want to share some things, I think when we don't share some of the things in our life that we've gone through and we've lived to tell, but also we've come out better on the other side. It didn't feel like it at the time. I can remember when my ex-husband sued me for custody of our children. Oh my gosh, it was like somebody hit me upside the head with a,
Wow.
I didn't see it coming. And so, but when we go through those things, then we get to be able to encourage other people, especially the ones that don't, just like you said, family doesn't have to be blood family. Sometimes, it's more of our community, and we come alongside each other, and we really do want to help and want other people to thrive and just, evolve. Life is way too short. I mean, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So you better do your very best today.
Yeah, I'm hearing in my ear now, like, okay, what did you put in your book? So I want to get beat. I had to put in my first book in high school. I attempted suicide.
Mm.
Dad went here. Me and mine had issues. Smoking weed and drinking. One made me not think he wanted to see me graduate. So for like a week, I would have a knife near my wrist. Ain't nobody gonna care. But God will work with you where you are.
Mhm.
So you love Tupac? Go play Me Against the World album and put the knife down. And
Mhm.
after about a few days, I would just go play the album if I thought about that. I ain't never do it again. And someone read my book and shared with me that it helped them not think about they don't have a reason to live. And that, like, wow, this is
See, you
this
never
is
know. You never know.
wow.
A few years ago, we've got a place here. It's called Mental Health America, and I
Mhm.
love going to learn. And I wanted to go on some suicide training because I'd never gone through it before. And I
Mhm.
will tell you, after I went to that meeting, Jeffrey, there was another nonprofit there. It was called Hugs, and it helped families and people who had experienced suicide, close family or whatever. And I had a dear friend, she was a financial planner, and her 13-year-old daughter had committed suicide. And so when I left that meeting, Jeffrey, before I left the parking lot, I called her. I said, Carla, I know things are still raw for you right now. I said, but I just came across a resource that may be beneficial for you if and when you need it. And I really believed that the whole reason I went to that meeting was to learn that, to give her that resource.
Yeah, God will use you to help others, and you don't even
Hmm.
realize it.
Yeah.
So I made peace with it and just be obedient, be transparent. I still don't like it, but
There's a lot of things we
it
don't like.
ain't about me. I just say, "Shut up, Jeff. Don't worry about you. Just do the work."
It's not you. It's not about you.
Yeah, it's about him, not you.
Yeah.
But I'm a little stubborn. Like, man, I want to do it. I want to talk about that. Hey, come on, boy. All right, God. I want no problem.
Mhm.
Now we are on. Amazingly, you have been researching for over 30 plus years. What is your take on the whole research field from then to now?
I think you have to go in with, an open mind and an open heart and not believe everything that you hear or read. Because I was a researcher for the government too, and I'm the kind of person that
Oh,
I like to be proven.
okay.
It's for example, I started with a American-based nutritional company 16 years ago, and they said all their products, were alkaline and they had ionic minerals and all this blah 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 stuff in it. And so I thought, okay, and I know what a healthy cell needed. So
Hmm.
I tried to started using some of the nutritionals, and I had my pH strips out, Jeffrey, and I'm testing them like a mad scientist.
Awesome.
I wanted to
Okay.
make sure, but I will tell you, after about 16 years of incorporating, it's 70. I've got elite blood work, and I love that. I want to continue. I want to age. I don't want to get old, but I want to, to help people take care of their temporary temples until they get their permanent maintenance free one. And I'll tell people, but it's more important that it's fireproof. And they'll just sort of look at me like, what? And okay.
Yeah. Well, you definitely look amazing.
Well, thank you.
So that's stuff working. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
hey, it's work for the men, the black man. Wait a minute. I want no trouble. If y'all listen, I want no problem. We ain't talking about no sport.
we all have those same kind of cells that need that nourishment. Doesn't matter, male or female.
Now, any tips you throw out there for people working out and losing weight?
I
I mean,
think you have to think about what crosses your lips becomes part of your body within 36 to 48 hours. And we make those good, better, best choices. And so we have to decide. I've stayed 6 sizes down for 15 years. I'll never quote
awesome.
diet again, but I know how to get through the holiday seasons to enjoy family, food, and fellowship,
Hmm.
because you need to know your body, and that's your healthy lifestyle. And it's not any one thing. It's that sleeping, the water, the stress relief, the ways to be able to release, because stress is associated with the six top killers in this country. And right now, anxiety is affecting 1 out of 2, even with children. So you learn healthy ways to combat. I think we're living in a combative zone. Things are bombarding our brains, our
Yeah,
minds, our hearts, and everything. So we just get to learn how to be great soldiers and great people that keep,
you're right about that.
their weapons and their armor up. So, but I will tell you that I think sleep is huge. I think a lot of times people are so sleep deprived, and for you to be your healthiest self, you have to let those cortisol levels level back out. You have to let your body do what it's supposed to do, and it does have some minimum requirements. And so I think, just for people just to again, they have to know that I can't do it for you, Jeffrey. You can't do it for me. But I got to work out with Arnold Schwarzenegger 50 years ago. He came to Charlotte to help somebody open a gym. And I will tell you, I don't exercise like I did 50 years ago, but I still exercise because I know if I exercise just 30 minutes 5 times a day, it can increase my longevity by 5 years. And so, what I do is when I am exercising, I remind myself, I'm going, you know what? 5 more years, 5 more years. And so,
Wow.
you know, there's a lot of little things that we can learn to do. And it doesn't have to be gigantic things. It's just like little one steps at a time, and celebrate it. Because women, I tell women this all the time. I'll say, you just need to stop for a moment. And then you need to be able to just say, you know what?
What's that?
I have done such a good job. I'm going to pat myself on my back. I'm going to take a bubble bath and put a candle on and listen to jazz or whatever. You got to take a bath anyways. And so you just want to celebrate life. You want to celebrate the things that you accomplish. But most women, especially some men, we get stuff done and we're off to the next thing. I'm suddenly going, whoa, you need to acknowledge what you've just accomplished. It's very important for your mind, your body, and your spirit to realize that you made that decision in this computer between our ears. You made the decision, you took the action, and you got it done. Yay! you know.
That's awesome. Yay. You're right. You got to celebrate the small stuff.
Mm,
There's a lot going on in the world to make you just go get some jack and eat all type of junk food and just crawl under a rock. But that ain't living.
no,
You got a purpose you got to fulfill. So you got to be in the best shape to get the work done.
absolutely.
Well, I know I'm throwing all type of questions at you. So this we're gonna get to it's time to market you. Anything you got coming up, going on, floor is yours.
Oh my gosh, Jeffrey, I'm always up to something. It's like,
I can tell.
I know. I love having different initiatives, and especially when it comes to helping people with their physical and their financial health. I think you have to nurture both of those areas. And so many people, I mean, we're combating inflation right now, and like everybody is, and we're trying to really, do our very best, and be a good steward of the money that we've got. Taking anytime we're doing something good for us, we're investing. Yeah, I mean, we're either investing for good positive things or not. Whatever we say yes to, we're saying no to something else. So I'm really working in helping a demographic right now, Jeffrey, is a lot of people in the beauty industry because they lost a lot of income over the last couple of years. They couldn't touch their clients. And so
Yeah.
love helping them with a delicious liquid collagen product that is $1 billion. We sold over $1 billion in billion bottles in 1 year. But it's something that people in the beauty industry can not only offer their clients that are coming back or that haven't come back, but they can leverage technology. They can leverage something that is an incredible, good, healthy product for people and bring in additional money. And so I think I love helping people again, just we're talking about,
Hmm.
physically and financially. They go hand in hand. You have to have good health to enjoy your wealth. And most people work so hard, to bring up their wealth and increase their wealth. And then all of a sudden they've wrecked their health. And I'm sitting there going, you don't have to shorten your longevity potential. You want to be able to increase your longevity potential, but also be bringing in different streams of income.
Okay. When they go to your website, that's across the screen, www.thehealthysaleschick.com. What type of stuff will they find on your site?
They'll find a couple of quizzes, which again, I will encourage people to stop for just a moment because you know what? When you stop for less than 10 minutes and do a reassessment about where you are in your health, there's a great quiz for your health. There's a great quiz for your stress, and it all has some great suggestions that come along with it. And then if you want to just have a chat and a talk and just, I'm going to celebrate the good things you're doing first and foremost. And then you can just find out some ways that you might be able to tweak your healthy lifestyle, whatever that may be for your brain focus, or if you've still got brain fog or whatever, keeping that immune system built up. I don't care. I won't get political, but we're the ones that have to keep our immune systems built up because there's always going to be the next thing that's going to be there attacking us. So, but going to my website, they can find again the quizzes, and they can find a way to connect with me. And so I think that's just a good beginning.
And when you're talking on the beauty, I remember during 2020, it was a barber what near Wyoming, 8 Mile outside his house. He had people spaced out, lined up, and was cutting hair like that man watched 18 more MacGyver back in there. He gonna figure it out. He
I
was
know
doing
you have to
things.
be creative, Jeffrey. You do have to be creative and wise, and where there's a will, there's a way.
You're right. You gonna figure it out.
Mhm.
Now, what is your biggest challenge on your journey?
Oh my goodness. I think a couple of things. I learned years ago that I cannot want things more for people than they want for themselves. I have the gift of mercy and servanthood, and I have that heart. And I had to realize years and years ago that people, they're in control of their own life.
Hmm.
They're a result mainly of their own choices. Sometimes that's not always true when life happens or whatever. But wanting things for people more than they want for themselves, I think that's been one lesson I've learned to be an arb, to bless and release when people, are
Hmm.
coming to your lives. And, again, we talked about people building you up or taking you down. And there's those people that are going to be users and those people that are going to be just really grateful collaborations. So when you bless and release, you can release the emotion. I also believe you release every day and the hands never close because you release to receive, to give. And that's something for
Hmm.
myself every single day that, it always is not about me. I get to be here. I wake up every day and put my feet on the floor, Jeffrey, and I'm going, I'm back. What do we get to do today?
That's awesome.
you know.
That's all right.
So, but I think some of the biggest challenges I think for myself is not, it's just being able to allow people to make up their own mind and their own choices. I can give them great information and suggestions, but at the end of the day, they're responsible for what they're doing for their own life. And so that's one of the things. And then, being in business too, marketing is ongoing. Technology's changing. It's always, you have to
Yes,
keep
Lord.
evolving. I love C.S. Lewis. He said, "You're never too old to dream a new dream or set a new vision or have a goal." And so we want to continue to evolve and keep learning. Don't go a day without learning something new. You'll never get old if you keep on learning.
I, I'm always learning doing this show because Anchor was pretty cool. Just send them a link, audio, we good. Bam, pop it on the line, check it out. I want connect and engage, and like, huh? And then I came across StreamYard, like, oh, okay. I ain't we gonna come from the shadows, Jeff. First episode, I was terrified. And
Oh
they're
my
looking
God.
at me. I'm like, goodness, they're looking at me. I didn't show it on here, but it sounded like a guy that looked at me. I look right. Oh, this is so weird. I'm so vulnerable. I just hear something in my mind like, be quiet, you good. Just keep working. And
Absolutely. Don't listen to
I
that
keep,
little chatter. Don't listen to that little chatter. Just flick them
okay, I
back
think it
off.
was like, no! Like, shut up. You all right.
Yep.
Show's good. Don't listen. Keep going. Keep doing
I
it.
know. There's so many times, Jeffrey, that I tell the devil to go right back to hell. I'll say,
Hey, you gotta
I
put
just,
your foot, tell him
authority.
like, tell him to move that chin up and put it right on his throat. And every second, just keep squeezing so he know what his place is.
Yeah.
He know that you there. Every time you squeeze, like, oh, I can't mess with him. Like, nope, child of God. I know I got
Yep.
that power of attorney. Say Jesus, you
Yep.
got to bow. So shut up.
But
Keep
we
moving.
but we have to keep those tools and those weapons handy because we got the bullseye on us. He's not after
No,
anybody else that are already in his camp. I mean, we're gonna have the
I got to
target
remind
on us
myself,
from the
like,
very end.
yeah, you dealing with stuff because you supposed to do something. He wanted you to stay in the trunk with the anchor, just audio. Don't be out here promoting people on camera, like. But you want to be all praising, jumping in the water, like, okay, just got to punch him in the face because normally, whenever I talk about God on here, technology start messing up. We get it
Mhm.
back on point, like, oh, that's the devil getting mad. Just punch him in the mouth, keep that going, keep the
Yep.
story going. You good?
Mhm.
Probably ain't gonna stop.
Yep.
Now, what has been your impact on your journey? You believe?
Oh my gosh, I have really I think about that, it's I can reflect back over the years, and I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest impacts is that I raised my children. I was a single mom for a season of my life, but I raised
Mm-hmm.
my children, and I never had to put them into daycare. I bartered with other mothers and did some things. And that impact on raising my children, and I got to raise them, was such an honor and a gift for me. But I will tell them, I'll tease them now. One's 37, one's 40, and one's 51. But I'll say, we lived to tell and we had a good time and we still like each other and love each other. So I think that is a great impact, but also all the people's lives that, I've crossed people and connected people with. I can remember a gentleman years ago, and he worked for Disney, and he just really wanted to speak in Australia. That was his goal. He wanted to speak in Australia. And it was
Mm-hmm.
by somebody that I connected him with, a speaker from a speaker's agent, that within the next year he was speaking in Australia. So I
Awesome.
think when you talk about impact, I don't think I will ever really know the full picture. Um, but that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If I can leave people better off than when I met them, to me, that's impact.
I would agree. That's awesome. And all this amazing stuff for this wonderful sage knowledge that we about to get. Last question. What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
I would tell you again, here we go again. I think you should stop
Stop.
and really spend some time alone and just spend some time. Get a notebook out, get whatever you're going to write or tablet, whatever your technology is. But I think you really just need to get quiet and just really write down the things that you absolutely know are your gifts and talents, and the things that you have been entrusted with, to be a good steward of. And because our purpose, we have different things. We have different tasks, we have different assignments, we have different things. But I
Mhm.
think for somebody just to get still and quiet and to really write down those things, the old Ben Franklin, and write down the pros and the cons when you're looking about starting a business or doing something, you'll be really surprised. And then you can also ask somebody that is close, that is not going to just tell you what you want to hear, that will be honest with you, and just say, what do you observe? Because when we have those people in our lives that are going to be honest and truthful, they're
Mhm.
going to share with us those things that they can see, and there are witnesses, about, the different things that we are good at, and we don't realize it because it's just we're good at it, and it's second nature for us. So I think our purpose, and I think it does stay pretty much the same, but I do think that it changes and gets tweaked as we continue to age.
See, you go, that same Yoda type knowledge right there. That's gonna help somebody find their purpose. Might go into your field,
Mhm.
maybe make some super soldiers with these cells, manipulation, all that good stuff. Get our bodies right. You enjoy the show? Have fun?
Absolutely. I just think, encouraging each other is huge. Just like what you've been doing, Jeffrey, is amazing, because all your guests and all the people that you're bringing into awareness to your audience, you will probably never ever know all those lives that have been touched and all those people that has made a difference. Um, you know, because you're doing and you're being obedient and you're being faithful at what God asked you to do.
Yeah, it's hard, Nancy.
Mhm.
But I do what you do. Stop. Don't do you. Do Jesus.
Mhm.
And make sure the shows are better than each one. The guests must be comfortable to share their story, or I failed, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I had a good time.
Mhm.
'Cause over 40 years in this game, what you've done is pretty amazing. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing. So we want to thank this awesome guest, over 40 years of research and development, author and natural healthy lifestyles, TV show and host of Win Win Women, Nancy, the healthy sales chick, White, coming on, sharing the story. If someone wants to go in this field, you got a snapshot what goes on, and help make a difference and pay it forward to someone else. Hope everybody has an awesome weekend. I'm gonna get the show together. Send you a copy, put information they can find your books and everything. As you see when I post the latest episode. And you all have a good weekend.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you. Back to this amazing, Oscar worthy intro. Have a good weekend, everybody.
313 Detroit love, the Motor City. Detroit love, can't nothing stop me. Detroit love, I love my city. Detroit love, that 313. Detroit raised me. Detroit's in me. Can't nothing stop me.